So welcome everyone to our Gita Gyan Level 1 Sammelan program. So like you know, I am Jayanti Radhe and I'll be your host for today's Sammelan event. So first, let's all offer our humble obeisances to our spiritual masters. Om Agyana Timirandasya Gnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimathe Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyata Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. We offer our obeisances to their lordships, Jagannath Baldev Subhadramai Sudarshan Ji, Lakshmi Narsimha Ji, Gau Nitai, Panchatattva, Guru Parampara, and the Shad Goswamis. So for this event, for today, our program today is dedicated to His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. And for this event for today, I request everyone to kindly turn on your videos. We have a guest speaker today, so we definitely want you to be active on video during this time. Okay. Jai. And so may I request, first of all, just give me a second. So I welcome all of you on behalf of ISKCON Sheshadripuram today. I extend a warm welcome to each and every one of you. Sammelan program, like we informed you, is a convocation or a graduation ceremony that we have for people who have gone through these 18-day courses of learning Bhagavad Gita, and all of you have actively participated for the last 18 days. So congratulations to each of you who have participated and made this program a success. And I should definitely inform you that your questions, your enthusiasm, your active participation is definitely what made this program a success. So thank you, each one of you. For making this program a success. So before we get into the convocation program itself, let me just give you a brief history of what this program is all about. How did this program start? So this program started sometime around the COVID time. Does anyone remember which year we are talking about? We spoke about it very briefly during our class. Which year did our Gita Gyan program start?
Is it 2020, Mataji?
2020. Do you know what was special about 2020?
It was a COVID year, Mataji.
Yes, COVID year. So all of us were locked in our rooms, our houses. We had to all be in our locked up, and nobody was stepping out. No one was even visiting our temples during those times. So this was when this whole inception of the thought process of Gita Gyan came up. And it was inspired by His Holiness Jayapadaka Swami Maharaj. He guided the temple president, who is Anukul Keshav Prabhu, our current temple president, to start a program, an online program, where the message of Gita can be unperturbed, spread on to people who cannot visit the temples personally, right? And this is where, with the support and blessings of late His Grace Anadi Jagannath Prabhu. I don't know if many of him you know him, but back in 2020, he was the one who started this whole program with the blessing of Anukul Keshav Prabhu. We no longer have him between us, but he continues to stay in our memory and continues to inspire us still with his thoughts and blessings still. And today in our program, it is led by His Grace Sridhar Srihari Prabhu. You all might have seen him sending messages on the group. He's a very active. Currently for this year, he's decided to be a background player, but he's playing such a a strong leadership role in the background, managing everything, coordinating with the teachers, coordinating with the admin team, making sure the content is ready on time, and there's enough training and conversation back and forth, dealing with all the managerial issues. So a big thank you to Sri Hari Sridhar Prabhu for making this event a success in the background. And also we should thank our other leaders for their mentorship, like Her Grace Vrinda Maharani Mataji and His Grace Mahananda Prabhu, who have actively been guiding us, giving us suggestions, giving us nice pastimes, inspiring the teachers all the way, because it's a little difficult to be inspired all the time, but these senior devotees have kindly graced us with their association and given us much inspiration to continue in our roles as in our preaching activities. So since then, since 2020, since its inception, Gita Gyan has flourished. We are running our 12th batch. You're all part of the 12th batch of Gita Gyan. And we continue touching many lives, both in India and internationally. And there are many participants who often come back after the program and want to continue with your association with this learning program of Gita Gyan. So this is where all of you have started now with the 18-day program, but there's a lot more coming. So we have focused on maintaining the quality of the program and delivering a transformational experience to our participants. So we explain the meaning of Gita in these programs and help people apply those teachings in in their lives. So since many of you have come back with nice testimonials, it's a living proof that Gita Gyan has impacted most of you, at least who have been part of the program, positively, and will continue doing that with all your support and blessings. So on this 12th batch in convocation, today we are having these Gita Gyan program in 6 languages. You know of English, but we also have this program in Hindi, Kannada, Tamil, Odia, and even Telugu. And our highest participants today is in the batch of Telugu, where every batch has about 300 or 200 people participating every time. So our congregation is growing very nicely with all these other activities of preaching with Gita Gyan as well. Right. So we have in this batch alone, we have about 500 plus people who have joined in various languages, and it has been an incredible journey so far. And we thank you all for continuing to be part of this program and help us as you're learning, also motivating us to learn and be better preachers in the process. Right now, just while we are waiting for the speaker to join us, I wanted to just give you a little perspective on what is the future of this program, like what's going to come up next. So you will soon, very shortly, receive an invitation to the second level of Gita Gyan level 2 program. What you have gone through 18 days was level 1 program, where we covered 18 chapters, 18 days. And that was a brief summary, or an instant crash course of Gita so far. But in Gita Gyan level 2, we are going to go verse by verse. Every 700 verse will be touched on, read, understood, discussed, and that will be a more extensive program, which will run for about 8 months. Of course, because there are many festivals that's going to come up. And as we know, ISKCON is a culture which has so many festivals. We will be taking periodic breaks to ensure devotees are able to participate in those festivals as well. So, be part of that program. Do not leave these groups yet. And by taking this next step of Gita Gyan, like I said, what you have done in the level 1 is a crash course. So you have quickly given you a summary to pique your interest. Now we are going to go into the details. And while you go through from Gita Gyan level 1 to level 2, it makes it easy for you to understand what you've already learned in Gita Gyan level 1, and also to remember those content. Many times when you learn something and don't follow it up by studying again, you forget what you have learned before. So this level 2 will be a way to harden, strengthify what you have already learned. right? So be part of our Gita Gyan level 1, stay connected, continue being part of the groups. All your updates will come in these groups alone. So don't leave these groups yet. So whoever is there in the existing group, you'll be receiving updates on Gita Gyan level 2 on that groups as well. Okay, so stay connected with us. I'm just checking if our temple president Anukul Keshav Prabhu is here. Anukul Keshav Prabhu, like I briefly mentioned, he's a temple president of ISKCON Sheshadripuram and has been practicing Krishna consciousness for the last 30 years. Under the leadership of our temple, under his leadership, our temple congregation grew from a congregation of 50 devotees to 1,000 today. So it's all because of his efforts and his all the different programs he's been motivating all the congregation with. So I humbly request His Grace Anukul Keshav Prabhu to address the Gita Gyan team, devotees, so that they will be inspired to take forward the Gita Gyan journey from here. Anukul Keshav Prabhu ji.
Thank you,
Jayanti.
Joy Mataji. I forget your initial
Jayanti
name.
Radhe Devidasi.
Jayanti Radhe, yeah, sorry. Jayanti
Hare
Radhe.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji and Sri Prabhu, for inviting me. In your program, I was following till 14, 15 chapter. You had a 50 plus always.
Yes.
But today is a very less numbers actually.
Yes.
Anyway, congratulations all of you who has completed this course actually. Bhagavad Gita, as Madhav was telling you, this was just basic and starting only, which was explained by Jayanti Mataji. Because it is so deep subject, even she is in 8 months also, she will be able to guide you, which more than basic I can say, but after 8 months also you go on reading, you will be more and more interesting subjects you will be getting actually. She will be good speaker, good knowledge. Her husband is like a encyclopedia, I can call him. And he has trained her actually. And she has a lot of knowledge, Al Shastra, which is she will be sharing in the next course. Basic she tried to share. As Krishna in Bhagavad Gita says, that whenever we feel, actually, whenever we get hurt by walking or something like that, it immediately comes out from our mouth, like Ma or not. Nobody says Krishna actually, generally. So it is a Havara habit. Like some problem is there, we call some in our neighborhood, some problem is that we call immediately to police or dial 100, or we call an ambulance if some problem is there in can we to some sick or something is there. So we dial ambulance. But we have to dial. They take time. But Krishna is always 24/7 is available. If we have to through his chanting his name, and he's always available. So there is no need to call a ma or friend or something. He is the best friend, without which cannot cheat you. He is always. He has Mother explained you. I think 18th chapter. He is so many times in the Bhagavad Gita. He has promised, "I'll be always with you. I'll be there if you are some in distress." Actually, so I'll request all you, please. This is the very rare. Mother, how many are new in this? Actually, as of now, we
45,
no.
all you.
No, wait, 21 is there almost.
Yes.
Almost new one only, we can say.
Yes, yes.
So this is very rare, but is there. Human birth is very rare. As generally everybody knows that after 84 we get this human birth actually. And we should take benefit actually. And in this birth only we can upgrade ourselves or degrade ourselves. Even Devtas also want to take birth as a human being. Maybe whoever is Devtas there, they also want this birth to human being, because There no upgradation or something. There only degradation or something is there. But in a human life, only we upgrade actually. That is only by surrendering to Krishna only. In Bhagavad Gita clearly said Krishna him, and if we read other Shastra, where nowhere is any god has said I am the supreme. Even Shiva or Brahma, anybody has not said I am supreme. Only Krishna declaring I am supreme and please surrender to me. No need to fear, no need to go anywhere. Thank you very much. All you just join this group, and I'll say, please, as Krishna has given a message in his Bhagavad Gita Vani, if anybody brings to Krishna consciousness to to surrender somebody else, he is also getting benefit of purity of Krishna's mercy actually. So we should try to our family members, our friends, whoever say we can preach. As Mother is telling, everybody should try to learn more little bit after in 8 months, after 3-4 months. I think all of you will be able to preach actually with her guidance actually. And you start your own groups under the guidance of Sri Hari Prabhu and Mataji to preaching your area physically or online, whatever you think. So we want all 41, 51 to become a preacher in a few months actually. As I said, Krishna, there are examples in Bhagavatam, whenever Draupadi called, Krishna was available, but when call only. He is not available only simply, okay, say Krishna is there, he will come without calling. Even Draupadi was so close to Krishna, but when she was disrobing by Jayadratha, but Krishna not came. Till she surrendered and she said, okay, yes, I need you. Then before she thought, he was there. So it is our duty to chant nicely. We take Krishna consciousness and remember Krishna, he is always there as he promised in Bhagavad Gita. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you,
Over
His
to Jagannatha.
Anukul Keshav Prabhuji. Thank you for your kind words and your time for today. I see our chief guest for today, His Grace Srivatsa Shyamasundara Prabhu has joined us. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you for joining us.
Hare Krishna, Srivatsa Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, pranams to everyone. Hope it's a good day for you all and you all doing well, I hope.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Prabhuji. We are
Mataji.
quite well. Before I pass on the call to Srivatsa Shyamasundara Prabhuji, let me briefly introduce His Grace Srivatsa Shyamasundara Prabhuji. So we are extremely fortunate to have his association today. He's a wonderful devotee and he's our chief guest and chief speaker for the day. It's His Grace Srivatsa Shyamasundara Prabhuji. He's a full-time brahmachari monk in ISKCON Mayapur, and he began his journey in Bhakti in 2008 in London while pursuing his professional career. And he holds a MSc in Business Management from the University of Wales and has an academic background in commerce, economics, and political science. So he's worked in the corporate sector for nearly 9 years before he decided to dedicate himself full-time in devotional service in 2016. In 2015, he received his first initiation, followed by his second initiation in 2021. And in 2017, he moved to Sri Dham Mayapur, where he underwent extensive training as a brahmachari while serving in various capacities. And since 2019, he has been offering his service to His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj, assisting him in media and secretarial responsibilities. Additionally, he assists the cow ministry in East India, South India, on behalf of His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj. He has completed his Bhakti Shastri and is also currently pursuing Bhakti Vaibhav. So, dear devotees, I request all of you to warmly welcome His Grace Srivatsa Shyamasundara Prabhuji, and Prabhuji can give us some knowledge like that you would like to share. The topic for today is how to apply Bhagavad Gita in daily life. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, everyone. Thank you for giving me the chance to share some insight
Hare
about
Krishna, Prabhuji,
Srimad Bhagavad
Pranam.
Gita. Jai. So I would like to welcome you all for this session. And again, thank you everyone for giving me this chance. So first, we start with prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. So anything we do, even in Vedic lifestyle, it is clearly mentioned that whatever we do, we just offer our respects to our teacher. In the school, our teacher, and one more teacher at our home is our mother. So I offer my respectful obeisances unto my spiritual master, who, with the torchlight of knowledge, has opened my eyes, which were blinded by the darkness of ignorance. And I do, like when we talk about our family hereditary, we talk about our forefathers, and especially grandfather, great grandfather, and all. Here also, every parampara has a proper root which is aligned with the disciplic succession. It starts from Krishna, and fortunately, this movement is started from Brahma. This movement is called Brahma Madhya Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya. So, our Acharya, the founder is Brahma, and here ISKCON's founder is Srila Prabhupada. So, one who actually some 50 years, 60, 70 years back, there was no knowledge about Bhagavad Gita. So he went to West and he gave them the knowledge. I'll just read a small prayer. Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadam Hayyam Dadati Swapadantikam. When will Srila Rupa Goswami Prabhupada, who has established within this material world the mission to fulfill the desire of Lord Sri Chaitanya, give me shelter under his lotus feet? And Vandeham Sri Gurum Sri Yuta Padakamalam Sri Gurum Vaishnavamsha Sri Rupam Sakrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padana Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakambitam Shacha. And again, I offer my respectful obeisances unto the lotus feet of my spiritual master and all of the other preceptors on the path of devotional service. I offer my respectful obeisances unto all the Vaishnavas and unto the 6 Goswamis, including Srila Rupa Goswami, Srila Sanatana Goswami, Raghunath Dasa Goswami, Jiva Goswami, and their associates. I offer my respectful obeisances unto Sri Advaita Acharya Prabhu, Sri Nityananda Prabhu, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and all his devotees headed by Srivatsa Thakur. I then offer my respectful obeisances unto the lotus feet of Sri Lord Krishna, Srimati Radharani, and all the gopis headed by Sri Lalita and Vishaka. So here we see in a daily life, so teacher plays a very crucial role in our life. The teachers are arguably the most important members of our society. They give children purpose, set them up for success as citizens of our world, and inspiring them a drive to do well and succeed in life. The children of today are the leaders of tomorrow. Hope you all agree. And teachers are that critical point that makes a child ready for their future. Why are teachers are important? Let's count the ways. And how do teachers actually influence the students? The teachers can profoundly impact students' academic success, personal growth, and lifelong learning through effective instruction and mentorship. So they promote positive relationships and inspire students to reach their full potential by creating a supportive learning environment. They can help students develop essential skills for future success. So again we talk the reasons why teacher matter. So children carry what they are taught at young age throughout the rest of their lives. They will use what they have learned to influence society. Everyone knows that today's youth will become tomorrow's leaders, and teachers have success to educate the youth in their most impersonable years. Whether that is in teaching and the preschool, teaching, extracurriculars, sports, or traditional classes. Teachers have the ability to shape a leaders of the future in the best way for society to build positive and inspired future of generations and therefore design society. Both on a local and global scale, in reality, teachers have the most important job in the world. Those who have an impact on the children of the society have the power to change lives, not just for those children themselves, but for the lives of all. So, where this Bhagavad Gita takes place as a role of the teacher and guides in our life in daily life and every each and activity. When we see, we should learn the things the properly. Actually, the Bhagavad Gita is one of India's ancient text and is derived from the epic poem, the Mahabharata. This still stands as the longest poem ever written with over 100,000 slokas, verses. Over 2 lakhs verses, though only part of the Mahabharata. The Bhagavad Gita is perhaps one of the most important, highly revered yogic texts over, I mean, ever to have been written. Texts like the Upanishads and the other Puranas are also part of this poem. But it's a Bhagavad Gita that's often cited as holding the key to personal transformation. The Bhagavad Gita is a map and a guidebook. It gives us a systematic overview of the territory of life, shows various approaches to the summit with their benefits and pitfalls, offers recommendations, tells us what to pack and what to leave behind. More than either of the others, the Upanishads and the Dham path, it gives the essence of the personal guide. It takes, it asks and answers the questions that we may ask. The questions not about philosophy or mysticism, but about how to live life effectively in a this modern and challenging world, which is ruled by artificial intelligence at present boom, which is actually challenging the human intelligence, which is created by humans, and this makes our life become more challenges and it changes our lifestyle. But in spite of all, without Bhagavad Gita, there is no life. So the whole story of Bhagavad Gita takes place on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, upon which two sides of a family, the Pandavas is one side and Kauravas is one side. Both are cousins. Are preparing for battle. The text itself focuses on a conversation between two characters. One is Lord Sri Krishna and Arjuna. Like many other writings of this period, such as the Upanishads and the Dhamma, the Bhagavad Gita are a song of the Lord. Seems sorry, timeless. Its story is relevant whether we lived 1,000 years ago or we are living in the modern age. We explore and what happens when Arjuna has to make difficult, life-changing decisions. Specifically, the decision as to whether he should battle against his own family members in a war of good versus evil. And the importance of living a life of truth and purpose, the most interesting and often misunderstood aspect of the Bhagavad Gita is that it's entirely representational and highly symbolic. There is no actual battlefield or fight to be won. The entire text represents the battle that goes on in our minds. It is about understanding how we can overcome difficulty, self doubt, and ultimately live a life truth and purpose. This text speaks to anyone who ever feels as though their mind is a battlefield. It is as relevant to today's practitioners as it was to ancient yogis. Here, uh, especially we discuss about some characters. We already discussed and we further will discuss. So, in order to get the most from the text, it's important to understand what each character represents. Here, characters Arjuna, Krishna, the Pandavas, the Kauravas, the chariot, the horses. Arjuna, us in our human form, with all our doubts, worries, and habits, he represents you and I as we stand on the battlefield of life facing all the different parts of ourselves that prevent us from realizing our true nature. Krishna, the higher self, or the divine personality, who is that none other than the supreme personality of Godhead. We just heard one of our temple president is mentioning that nowhere it is any Puranas, any gods are claiming themselves as a whole and whole soul, supreme personality of Godhead. But here Krishna in Bhagavad Gita he says that I am the supreme personality of Godhead. When we see any religion, other religions or co-religions like existing in this present situation in the present modern age, still it is in their hand. They can edit, but they can't edit because they don't have proof that claiming that their representative is the supreme personality of God. But for us, it is there a proper evidence is Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. So there is a only one PM for one country and one president for one country. So you cannot have multiple presidents and multiple PMs for the country. Like that, he is the one and all whole soul, the supreme personality of Godhead. The Pandavas, the great virtues within us. The Kauravas, the opposing forces within us. The chariot, our physical body. The horses, our five senses that need to be guided by the self so we can realize our true nature. And we talk about more like no less drama and more dharma. So here we just discussed about the teacher, the importance of the teacher. So I offer again my respectful humble obeisances at my spiritual master. Om Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langayate girim yatkrupaha tamaham bande Sri Gurum Deenatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanya Ishwaram Hari Om Tassat Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Jayapataka Swami iti Namne Namacharya Padaya Nitai Kripa Padaya Gaurukata Damadaya Nagarkrama Dharane Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami iti Namne Namaste Saraswate Deve Gaurvani Pracharane निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश धार्मिक जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So in the modern world there are unlimited versions of the Bhagavad Gita. So by Krishna's mercy we got a Bhagavad Gita as it is, which is not written by any mental speculators or any Mayavadis or any random author who writes a dramatical and fictional stories and love stories. He is the proper authenticate composer of the Bhagavad Gita. He is the predecessor of the disciplic succession. So he wrote Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, and so many other books like Easy Journey to Other Planets and Back to Godhead, Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Self-Discovery, The Journey to Self-Discovery, Science of Self-Realization. Like that, many inspirational books which gives us the real identity of the soul and body. And Bhagavad Gita is also known as Gitopanishad, the essence of the Vedic knowledge, and one of the most important of the various Upanishads in Vedic literature. This Bhagavad Gita, there are many commentations in English, and what is the necessity of another English commentation of the Bhagavad Gita can be explained in the following way. So, once Prabhupada was in America, he went to preach upon his spiritual master's request. So he met one lady. The lady asked him, "So, Swamiji, which book you recommend to read Bhagavad Gita? So many versions are there." And of course, then Swamiji replied that, "So, yes, there are so many versions are left. So, I have a wonderful book. You read this Bhagavad Gita as it is. So, your life become successful." So the spirit of Bhagavad Gita is mentioned in the this Bhagavad Gita itself. So then he requested that lady to read the Bhagavad Gita. So the lady gone through the Bhagavad Gita. She felt it is actually, and before that she also read some other books, but some other she did not convince herself. So it is just like this. If we want to take a particular medicine, then we had to follow the particular direction mentioned on the label of the medicine. We cannot take the particular medicine according to our own direction or by the direction of your friend. But we have to take the medicine under the direction given on the label of the bottle and as directed by the physician. Like you see any medicine, okay. Some example, this is eye drops. There they have mentioned clearly the prescriptions and usage directions to apply on into our eyes. So this Bhagavad Gita as it is has a tremendous life changing guidance is thoroughly implemented and written clearly. Similarly, the Bhagavad Gita also should be taken or accepted as it is directed by the speaker himself. So the Bhagavad Gita speaker is Lord Krishna. He is mentioned in every page of Bhagavad Gita as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Bhagavan. Of course, Bhagavan is sometimes designated to any powerful person or any powerful demigod. But here Bhagavan is certainly designated to Lord Sri Krishna, a great personality. But at the same time, we must know that Lord Sri Krishna has is confirmed by all the acharyas. So even Sankaracharya, Ramanujacharya, Madhvacharya, Nimbarka Swami, and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and many others. So we can say that in India, there were many authoritative scholars and acharyas. So authorities of the Vedic knowledge, all of them, including Shankaracharya, has accepted Krishna as Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Lord himself has also established himself as the Supreme Personality of Godhead in the Bhagavad Gita. is accepted. So in the Brahma Samhita and all other Puranas, especially in the Srimad Bhagavad Puranam, this is called Panchama Veda. He says that Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. So in Bhagavad Gita, if we go through it in the 4th chapter, first verse, it says, Imam vivasvate yogam proktavan aham avyayam vivasvan manve praha manurikshvaka ve bravit. The blessed Lord said that I instructed this imperishable science of yoga to the sun god Vivaswan, and Vivaswan instructed to Manu, the father of mankind, and Manu in turn instructed to it to Ikshvaku. Then is again following verse it says that evam parampara praptam imam rajarshayo vidu sa kalayanaha mahanta yogo nasta parantapa. This supreme science was thus received through the chain of disciplic succession, and the saintly kings understood it in that way. But in course of time, the succession was broken, and therefore the science as it is appears to be lost. So, sa evayam mayete adhya yoga prokta puratanaha bhakto asmi me saka cheti rahasyam hi etad uttamam. That every ancient science of the relationship with the Supreme is today told by me to you because you are my devotee as well as friend. Therefore, you can understand the transcendental mystery of this science. So, I'll tell you one thing. I hope you all have some idea. The idea is that in modern age, in production-based companies, you see, they use a one technique to improve the quality, TQM, Total Quality Management. That formula has taken from the Bhagavad Gita. And we see in Japan, so Toyota, they have a JIT, just in time. That just in time, that formula has taken from the Bhagavad Gita. And Henry Ford, the management by objective. That principles, like you see, 14 principles are there how to be a successful business, run a business man to run your own business or some company. This every company we see in operational side on cross level, we may not feel that okay, how come everything is properly situated. These principles have taken from the Bhagavad Gita. Then if you see the latest, the Ford Motors, they have utilized lean manufacturing. All these technologies have taken from the ideas have arisen from the Bhagavad Gita. And most as a is the whole Bhagavad Gita tells us how to be a submissive towards your guide and your mentor and the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And it gives us different teachings. When we are in depression, okay, you go through some particular verses. When you are in anxiety, you read these verses. And when you are in happiness, how to achieve that happiness in a proper direction. It gives us many solutions. At the same time, there is economics, there is a principle, law of marginal utility. Any product you use a certain point, certain period, after some time, we lose the taste on it. Okay, we lose the taste on it. So after some time, that the usage of product starts falling down, dripping down. Then it will become stagnate. So after some time again rages. The waves, ups and downs. These economical principles have taken from the Bhagavad Gita. These principles are clearly mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita. So, so now here the direction that Bhagavad Gita is especially instructed, introduced to this modern world by our Acharya Srila Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada. So, upon his spiritual master request. Then Bhagavad Gita especially instructed to Arjuna, the devotee of the Lord, the direct student of Krishna, and not only that, he is intimately in touch with Krishna as a friend. Therefore, Bhagavad Gita is understood by person who has similar qualities like Krishna. That means he must be a devotee, he must be in relation, direct relationship with the Lord. As soon as one becomes a devotee of the Lord, he has a direct relationship also with the Lord. That is subject matter very long, but briefly it can be stated that a devotee is in a relationship with Supreme Personality of Godhead in 5 ways. One may be a devotee in passive state, one may be a devotee in a active state, one may be a devotee as a friend, and one may be a devotee as a parent, and one may be a devotee as conjugal lover. So here between Arjuna and Krishna relation is that devotee. Arjuna was a devotee in relationship with the Lord as a friend. The Lord can become a friend, of course. This friendship and the conception of the friendship which we have got in the mundane world, there is a gulf of difference. This is transcendental friendship, which not that everyone will have the relationship with the Lord. Everyone has got a particular relationship with the Lord, and that particular relationship is evoked by the perfection of devotional service. When Arjuna is in battlefield, he got a confusion. By upon seeing in all his cousins, he doesn't want to fight or he doesn't want to kill them. So then he was requesting, he doesn't have the dare or desire to kill and deal his relatives. So then he says that Arjuna says, Param Brahma, Param Dhama, Pavitram Paramam Bhavan, Purusham Sashvatam Divyam, Adidevam Ajam Vibhum. So again he says, Ahustvam Rasaya Sarve Devarshi Naradastata Asito Devalo Vyasa Swayam Chaiva Brabhisme. You are the Supreme Brahman, the ultimate, the Supreme Abode and the Purifier, the Absolute Truth, and the Eternal Divine Person. You are the primal God, transcendental and original, and you are the unborn and all pervading beauty. All the great sages as Narada, Asita, Devala, and Vyasa proclaims this of you. Now you yourself are declaring it to me. That Krishna says that Sarvam etat ritam manye ya mam vadasi keshava nahite bhagavan vyaktim vidurdevana dhanavaha. So Krishna and Arjuna says that, O Krishna, I totally accept as a truth all that you have told me, neither the gods nor demons, O Lord, no why personality. The personality. So here the one may have the doubt that because Krishna was the friend of Arjuna, therefore he may say all these things to his own friend. But Arjuna, just to drive out to this kind of doubts in the mind that readers of Bhagavad Gita, he establishes his proposition by the authorities. He says that Lord Krishna is accepted as a Supreme Personality of Godhead, not only by himself, Arjuna, but he is so accepted by authorities like Narada, Asita, Devala, Vyasa. These personalities are great personalities in distributing the Vedic knowledge accepted by all the acharyas. So we see that when one of the most treasured texts in the world is the Srimad Bhagavad Gita. It unfolds in a narrative setting of a conversation between, we already discussed, between Pandava warrior Prince Arjuna and his charioteer Lord Sri Krishna during the battle of Kurukshetra, and is a section of the from in Mahabharata. So here we see how to apply Bhagavad Gita lessons in a daily life. So develop objectivity even in a everyday situations. We must constantly stand up for what is right and avoid making impulsive choices. We all encounter these circumstances frequently when making decisions based on emotion rather than objectivity. Start practicing objectivity in real world situations. So always trust the process. Focus on the route rather than the rewards. Believe in your karma and the road. Have trust in both. Take small everyday actions. Do whatever you do in daily life, no matter how minor, with trust. Give everything you have and don't worry about the outcome. And the Bhagavad Gita is often regarded as the core of Vedic literature. The extensive corpus of prehistoric writings that serve as the foundation of Vedic philosophy and spirituality. So, understanding, I'll meet you. Please, please go. Understand your eating habits and change them if required. So, in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 17 of the Bhagavad Gita, it's discuss various dietary habits and how they affect our bodies. Read the Bhagavad Gita to learn more about it. Additionally, you can daily make small progressive changes to your eating habits and examine the different types of fear you experience and let go of them. We learn them the Bhagavad Gita that we don't have the, like, we don't have to live in a fright. Above all, we should not worry about the future and should only pay attention to our karma, which is mentioned about uh, in karma in clearly in Bhagavad Gita, that activity. As a result, you can read affirmations every day to think positively and face your concerns. Focus on cause and effect and don't play the blame game. Everything that occurs in our life is a result what we have done in the past, as Lord Krishna so wonderfully emphasized. Therefore, we need to be aware of the truth about the world and our lives today. Instead of blaming your current situation, make sure your karma is going in the right path, right direction. Analyze and comprehend your present existence as well. Become adaptable to changes. The change, according to Lord Krishna, is unavoidable. We must all accept change and be prepared to accept and adjust it. As a result, prepare for some adjustments in your everyday life instead of dwelling on the past. Adjust to the circumstances of the present. Your life will be easier as a result. And this Bhagavad Gita offers profound insights and practical guidances for navigating the complexities of life, composed as a dialogue we discussed already. This dialogue between Prince Arjuna and Lord Krishna on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. This philosophical masterpiece delves into the essence of human existence, duty, morality, and the path to spiritual enlightenment. Its teachings have transcended time and continue to hold relevance in our modern lives, offering valuable lessons and principles that can guide us towards a more fulfilling and purposeful existence. I'll tell you one successful story of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. I hope you must have read The Wings of Fire. So I read it. He's, he says that actually in the beginning, since he born in a Muslim family, but every day morning waking up starts by hearing the in the mics of the temple, like no temple gopra, they used to play Lord's name, like no Bhagavad Gita. By hearing that, he day starts. Then slowly he purchased a book and he started reading. He himself practices, and he says that he used to, when he was a president, he used to go and address so many children in the growth schools and private schools to give them insight of the life and how to face challenges in daily life. So, and our nowadays, our Prime Minister Narendra Modi, wherever he goes, he distributes this Bhagavad Gita. And we see Ratan Tata, he reads every day Bhagavad Gita because of the amount of etiquette and ethics have clearly mentioned the purpose of life and who we are, what is our relation with the God, and are we the are this body, or we the soul? So these subject matters are clearly explained in this Bhagavad Gita. So at the same time, cricketers, you see so many cricketers, especially Indian cricketers, whenever they are in worried or tension, they compulsory read one verse of the Gita, their favorite verses. Then they try to nurture it, they try to overcome that problem, that issue every time. So we can also adopt one of the our favorite. When we read thoroughly, then we will understand. We can adopt one verse that we can practice one verse. There are so many verses like that. And embracing one's duty, that is that one of the central teachings of the Bhagavad Gita revolves around the concept of dharma or the duty. Arjuna, facing a moral dilemma on the battlefield, is counseled by Krishna to fulfill his righteous duty as warrior. This highlights the importance of understanding and embracing our individual responsibilities and roles in society. The Gita teaches us that by performing our duties with sincerity and dedication, we contribute to the greater good and cultivate a sense of purpose and fulfillment in our lives. We see there is a one verse in 16th chapter, 9th verse. So Krishna says that etam drishtim avastabhya nastatatmanolapye buddhaya prabhavante ugrakarmana kshayaya jagato hitaha ahitaha. He says that the following such conclusions are the demonic, who are lost to themselves and who have no intelligence, engage in unbeneficial, horrible works meant to destroy the world. So, by reading Bhagavad Gita, we can understand what is demonic nature, what is divine nature, and at the same time, who are the intelligent people, who are not intelligent, and what are the beneficial works for us, and what are the horrible works for us, and which destroys the world. Those are called horrible work, like works. The demonics are engaged in activities that will lead to world destruction. Present days, the technology has grown up such a way that in the name of robotics and artificial intelligence, we are using to kill our own nature and identity. We are misusing it. The Lord states here that they are less intelligent. The materialists who have no concept of God think that they are advancing. But according to Bhagavad Gita, they are unintelligent and devoid of all sense. They try to enjoy this material world to the utmost limit by exploiting it, and therefore always engage in inventing something for sense gratification. Such materialistic inventions are considered to be advancement of human civilization. But the result is that people grow more and more violent and more cruel to animals and cruel to other human beings. They have no idea how to behave toward one another. Animal killing is very prominent amongst demonic people. Such people are considered the enemies of the world because ultimately they will invent or create something which will bring destruction to all of us indirectly. So, anticipates that this was the invention of the nuclear weapons. Like we see that how destructive it was. 1945. We all remember that Hiroshima, Nagasaki. So I do remember still, I'm a political science background student. So they taught us all. There was one Rousseau or Socrates, I forgot. He says that the best politician is that such a we thought by this. I mean, especially I do remember still. You should understand how that impression was made by this philanthropist and so-called Vedantist. They say that the real politician is that one who gives them promises time to time, but he never delivers the promises, but he make them believe it will happen, so then he'll become success. Then one who acts in such way, he is the real politician, he is the leader. Such a degraded philosophy, sorry to say that. And when I was in UK, so there was a one street is underground. That underground, the quote is that the economical principle is I'm remembering almost 12 years ago. This I do I see the promotion of that business is that the spirit, the most expensive and spirit is that vodka. The vodka, uh, the flavor, apple flavor vodka, they are selling it. Vodka gives you energy and it gives you strength. What they are saying, the quote, when I'm not disrespecting anyone, the quote is very abusing, one set of people. He says that there is no harm to raise a funds when we don't have a proper occupation, then woman can sell her body and raise the funds. It was these kind of teachings will not give us value of education or value of life. So this Bhagavad Gita gives us what is dharma, what is adharma. So the whole world is lacking the science of God, and such things have to be upgraded in advanced stage of life in a proper dharmic way. At any moment, war may take place, situation is now, the situation is like that. And this, like, because of atomic weapons have create many, like, it may create havoc. Such things are created solely for the destruction of the world. And this is indicated here that due to godliness, such weapons are invented in human society. They are not meant for the peace and prosperity of the world. So, when we talk about young graduates are encouraged to find their passion and then pursue their dreams, this advice often dished out at graduation ceremonies is misguided. Most successful young people don't look inside and then plan a life. They don't take an inward journey and come out having discovered a developed self, ready to meet the challenges of the world. No living allows them to find themselves by confronting challenges in life, by finding a problem that summons their energies. So the most of the youth discover what they are capable and what is important to them. In other words, our potential or purpose manifests not through a process of cognition, but through our vital engagement with the Lord, with the world. Okay. And the purpose is that whatever we might consider our life purpose to be, there is one purpose we all have: to live life fully, to explore all there is to explore within and without ourselves. And Siddhartha Gautam says, right, to discover your world and with your heart, give yourself to it. He says that whatever we might consider our life purpose to be, there is one purpose we all have: to live life fully, to explore all there is to explore within and without ourselves. And this learn yoga philosophy on, like, he says that Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, and hatha yoga, dhyana yoga, and jnana yoga, and the ultimate is he establishes bhakti yoga. So we last these four things I'll explain, and I'll conclude it. So, thing is that unveiling the jewels of wisdom is that we have to understand the dharma. The cornerstone of the Gita, dharma signifies righteous living, and like upholding one's moral and ethical obligations. It's not about blind obedience, but about aligning actions with an higher purpose. And what is karma? The law of action and consequences. Karma emphasizes that every action has its ripple effect. By understanding this principle, we learn to act with awareness and responsibility. Moksha, the ultimate goal. The moksha signifies liberation from this cycle of birth and death. Achieving true freedom and inner peace, the Gita outlines various paths to attain this liberation, such as selfless action, devotion, and knowledge. And yoga, more than just physical postures, yoga encompasses various disciplines for uniting the mind, body, and spirit. The Gita explores different yogas like karma yoga, action, bhakti yoga, devotion, and jnana yoga, knowledge, empowering individuals to find their unique path to self-realization. And we may read different, like, translations and commentaries, but Srila Prabhupada describes that Gita as a song of God. That is the essence of all Vedic knowledge. He says that the Gita is manual for self-realization that helps one can help us to understand our true nature and our relationship to God, and engage with scholars and practitioners. Seek guidance from those who have dedicated their lives to studying and living the Gita teachings. Apply the Gita in daily life that integrate its principles into your actions, thoughts, and decisions. Start small, perhaps with practicing mindfulness or cultivating selfless services. The Bhagavad Gita is not just a text to be read, but a way of life to be lived. As you embark on this journey, remember the song of God resonate within each of us, waiting to be unveiled. May its wisdom guide us like you and your paths to wholeness and inner peace.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Do we
I
have
think
any questions for Srivatsa Shyamsundar Prabhuji before we let him go? Yes, Alagason Prabhuji. You can unmute yourself and ask your question.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna to everybody. I just want to clarify one thing. Spiritual enlightenment, right? Spiritual enlightenment, is that, are we referring to the liberations moksha? I mean, the spiritual enlightenment means, are you referring to liberation or moksha? What does this spiritual enlightenment means? Is that liberations or moksha?
Srivatsa Prabhu, do you want to
Yeah.
take that?
Yes, please. Okay, so actually, in Vaishnava Sampradaya, we don't seek liberation because when you are not in a touch with Bhagavad Gita, we feel that moksha is going above this planet, which is existing in these 14 planets. They call Swarga. So moksha means that. But the ultimate purpose is to get the moksha is you go there, you don't come back again, and you wherever you are there, you feel that existence is there. You should not feel that okay, like I'm sitting in a one dark room, I switch off light, I'm focusing on the light. You understood properly. So here the Bhagavad Gita speaks about the ultimate moksha is the abode of the Krishna, which is the eternal. There is existence. This material world is pervert to existence of that spiritual nature. When we go that planet Supreme Personality of Godhead, Goloka or Vrindavan Dham, so we feel our close relation with Krishna, whatever way we are trained here, there are 9 ways of devotional services. Shavanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Dasyam, Vandanam, Sakyam, Atmanivedanam. So these we practice them here in as long as you are in this material world. By leading our material life, we are not asking anyone to give up material life. We are requesting everyone implement Bhagavad Gita in your daily life. Don't give up your material life and material like families and relations. We continue along with that. We implement these principles to achieve the highest perfection of the life is the supreme abode. So there, once a person achieves that goal, he goes back to back home Godhead. So after going there, you may not have, you don't feel hunger, you don't feel old, and you don't there is no birth, death, old age, disease. And see, I have white hairs here because I become old, and this gone, half of the gone. But in spiritual nature, our real nature is not this. As soon as a person comes to this material world, we takes it as granted, this is mine. We think that we are belonging to this material nature. The truth is that we are not belonging to this material nature. Because there is a soul in this body, every plant and every living entity has a soul within that. That soul accompanying with super soul. So when we understand this whole philosophy thoroughly from the Bhagavad Gita, then we will realize the real identity of this soul and this body. So that's what. We may change body according to our own karma time to time, but soul never dies. So the real purpose of the soul is to serve the Supreme. When we feel hungry, we eat something, but soul is also hungry. That hungriness is only fulfilled by the serving the Lord and chanting the Supreme Personality of God's name. Any God in the sense, so there are different religions. So any religion, if they follow particularly according to their book, whatever holy book, they will achieve. But actually, Bhagavad Gita, it clearly mentions that one who reads Bhagavad Gita and chants the holy name and Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. These 16 syllables holy name has the potency in the Kali Yuga such a way that we don't need anything. To understand this, we need a lot of background, lot of understanding, and we need a lot of teachings to understand it. Until unless we go through it, we can't understand. So here liberation means which we go the place, the Param Satyam, that place we don't come back again, and we stay there and we serve the Lord with heartfully. The liberation means that. And here also, see in Krishna, when 5,000 years he was here, he was 3 months old baby. He killed a Putana. Putana got liberation. She came and matched in Lord's body. But when we started reading Bhagavad Gita, slowly we will give up that concept, liberation. We will understand the purpose of the liberation. What kind of liberations are there, we will understand in the further. I hope it makes sense.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Thank you for the questions. We will not be able to take more questions for today, but we humbly thank Srivatsa Shyamasundara Prabhuji for making time for us. You have very nicely in the 1 hour summarized the whole Bhagavad Gita, how Bhagavad Gita is the script guide for life, and every modern world situation we have an answer for it in Gita. So thank you for summarizing it for us very nicely. With that, we come to the first part, which is a guest speaker talk for today. Thank you very much. And let's move on to the second part of our session, which you all have been waiting for here. I want to congratulate, we had shared this message in our groups as well yesterday. These are the 45 candidates who have cleared Gita Gyan Level 1 certification, and you will receive your certificate in whichever format you have requested for, whether it's email or hard copies. So whichever format you have requested. If you have further questions, you can reach out to us individually on chat. We'll respond to your queries as per that. But again, congratulations to all the participants who have successfully completed the Gita Gyan Level 1 program. And with that, we have a few announcements we want to make sure we pass it on to you before we close our Sammelan for today. So as we mentioned earlier, please stay connected in our WhatsApp group for further updates on Gita Gyan Level 2. And for next week, where we have few exciting sessions. Before starting the Gita Gyan Level 2, we have next week, we are doing a 2-day workshop on what is chanting, why do we chant, how to improve your chanting. Okay, this workshop will happen on Wednesday and Thursday, 7 p.m. So we request all of you to join that session. And further, we'll be having many book reading sessions. As we go through Gita Gyan Level 2, there'll be book reading where we'll pick up few selected Srila Prabhupada books and we'll as a group read it together. I see some of you all have already started joining Srimad Bhagavatam reading sessions, which is very nice. But there are very smaller books that we can also start reading simultaneously. So we'll take you through that process as well. And so continue being part of this process. We already sent you an update on the Mayapur Yatra planned for, I think, May, this year. So those who are interested to be part of that group, that Yatra, it's a invite specifically for the Gita Gyan members to be part of the Mayapur Yatra and take darshan of the Chandrodaya Mandir there and the Panchatatvas. So please do join us for that Yatra as well. And what else? So we thank everyone. Our thanks to His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada for facilitating this whole discussions through his books, but still virtually giving us all that knowledge and guiding us through all our life challenges still. So our eternal obeisances to His A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. We also want to thank the temple president, His Grace Anukul Keshav Prabhu, Her Grace Vrinda Maharani Mataji, His Grace Mahananda Prabhuji, His Grace Sri Hari Sridhar Das Prabhuji, and for making these programs happen. And we'd like to thank all the Gita Gyan admin team. I see them enthusiastically sending messages, reminders every day. So we deeply appreciate their efforts and constant endeavor to make sure more people are joining our session. So thank you, a big thank you for the admin team and your work. And like I said, please again, do not quit the WhatsApp group. We'll stay connected on this group and inform you of our future programs. So before we end our Sammelan for today, we have 2 minutes. If you want to take up, have any questions for us on these programs, we can take any questions if there's any last minute questions. If not, we did receive Hare Krishna Praveen Prabhuji.
Dandavat Pranam Mataji. So just a small question. So I know, I mean, I saw the list of the, devotees who are getting certificates, and some are getting like physical certificate, hard copy, some will get by mail, some by WhatsApp. So question basically, is it possible to get hard copy? Because I'll be visiting Delhi around second half of March. So is it possible to collect from one of these ISKCON temple there?
Sri Hari Prabhu, is it possible?
Hare Krishna Mataji. The exact timing may be difficult, so I will coordinate. Can we get Prabhu's number?
Yes, we'll share it with you.
Yeah. Praveen Prabhu, I will talk to you on phone, okay?
Sure. Sorry for this question.
No problem, Prabhu. No problem.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Okay, so we had a few testimonials that I'd like to share with you for this program. Many of you gave very positive feedback. Some say that it helped them become more peaceful and calm. It helped them get a basic understanding of Bhagavad Gita, because initially they found it very overwhelming, but as they went through the 18-day program, they understood it was simple and easy to follow. That's good. It's very interesting experience. I learned a lot about Bhagavad Gita, how to read the shlokas, and it became and they became a devotee of Lord Shri Krishna. Very nice. The explanations were clear and simple, eagerly waiting for the next level, thanking the Bhagavad Gita team, and very nice, very grateful for all your feedback. We also received a couple of video testimonies. I'd like to play one of them, if not all. Can you hear it?
No, we can't hear.
No audio, Mataji.
Ah, it's okay. I'm going to share this link with you after the call, and you can maybe go through some of these testimonies after that as well. Okay, Jai. So if there's no other further questions, we can now end the Sammelan with by thanking all of you again for being part of this. I pray for your well-being. Let's all of us chant together: Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Jai. Dandavat Pranam. We'll continue our association in the next chapter of Gita Gyan level 2. Dandavat
Hare
Pranam.
Krishna Mataji.
Hare
Dandavat
Krishna,
Hare
Pranam.
Mataji,
Krishna.
Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank
Hare
you,
Krishna.
Mataji. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam Mataji.
Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Thank you very much.
Hare
Dandavat
Krishna,
Pranam.
Mataji.
I'm going to close the call for everyone. Thank you for joining. Vacha kalpatarubhya shukra sindhubhya vicha patitanam bhavani bhyo vaishnavyo namo namaha.